Hello everyone, welcome to the Daily Current Affair Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy, 26th February 2026. Before getting into the discussion, please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't, please do subscribe and also hit the bell icon to receive on-time updates from the Academy. So before moving to the topic for today's discussion, we have an important announcement. It is regarding the pre-storming UPSC Prelims test series. The batch 6 will be starting on 10th March 2026 and it is a regular batch. You can scan this QR code to see how many questions from the pre-storming got reflected in the UPSC prelims. So with this, we will move to the topics for today. The first topic is green ammonia. So recently, the government of India is taking a lot of initiatives to promote the green ammonia production in India. And the next is tetanus and diphtheria. So recently, the government brought TD vaccine to fight both the tetanus and the diphtheria. And the next is HPV vaccine and precautions. So now the government is all set to launch a nationwide free HPV vaccination targeting the adolescent girls. And the next article is about the India-Israel relations, because we can see that February 25th and 26th, the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, will be visiting the West Asian country of Israel. And in this context, we will be discussing what is the significance of this visit, and also we will be discussing the various areas of cooperation between India and the Israel. And finally, we will be discussing the prelims focus for the day. So if all set, let's begin the discussion with the first article. So coming to the first article, India's energy shift through the green ammonia route. The article is taken from The Hindu. So recently, the government of India has taken an initiative to promote the green ammonia production. So we know that ammonia, which is primarily used in the fertilizer industry, therefore it is very important for the agriculture. And this green ammonia is produced using the combination of green hydrogen and also the nitrogen. So we can see that unlike the gray ammonia is the ammonia that we produce using the conventional source of energy, particularly the natural gas. So we can see that this green ammonia is produced by combining the green hydrogen and the nitrogen. So what is the primary purpose? The primary purpose is application in the fertilizer industry, and also the green ammonia can be used as a shipping fuel. It can be used as an energy for hydrogen transportation, and also it will assist the industrial decarbonization. So these are the major purpose of the green ammonia. And we can see that this green ammonia is produced using the green hydrogen. Therefore, the promotion for the green ammonia will automatically support the promotion or the boosting the production of the green hydrogen. Therefore, it is aligning with the objective of National Green Hydrogen Mission 2023, which aims to produce 5 million metric ton of green hydrogen annually by 2030. And what initiative the government has taken to promote the green ammonia? So the government took the initiative under the SITE scheme. What is meant by SITE? Strategic Intervention for Green Hydrogen Transition. So this is a scheme which is implemented by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, and we can see that this is a initiative to provide funding as well as market to the green hydrogen. So we can see that under this initiative, the government undertook an auction for the promotion of green ammonia. But there is a small change in the style of the auction. So we know that traditionally how the auction takes place, right? So traditionally the buyers, the producers will be there. We will be giving them the project, and they will take up the project and they will produce the product. And after producing the product, we will sell the product to the market, or we will sell the product to the buyers. But here the government brought a small change. They just flipped the traditional style of procurement or the traditional style of auction. Here, instead of searching for the buyers, the government guaranteed the buyers, and we search for what? We search for the producers. And the government also assured certain guarantees to the producers. So who are the buyers? 13 fertilizer plants, and we have signed the 10-year fixed price offtake agreement. That means for the next 10 years we have fixed price for the producers. And we can see that nearly 15 companies came forward, and out of them 7 companies got the project to produce the green ammonia. So we done this auction through the Solar Energy Corporation of India in the June month of 2024. And what is the aggregate demand that we generated using this auction? Nearly 30% of our total ammonia import. That is approximately 7,24,000 tons per year. So this is approximately 30% of our total annual ammonia import. And the government also provided incentive to the producing companies. So the incentive will go like this. The first year, the company will receive 8 rupees per kg, and the second year the company will receive 7 rupees per kg, and in the third year they will be receiving 5 rupees per kg of ammonia, green ammonia. So here we are reducing the risk for the producers. The producers risk will be very less. At the same time, because they are getting producers, they are getting buyers. Nearly 13 fertilizer plants are ready to purchase the green ammonia from this producers. So the producers risk will be reduced. At the same time, it will ensure a long-term green ammonia production because we have signed a 10-year agreement with the company. So these are the initiatives the government has taken to promote the green ammonia. And talking about the comparison, so in the beginning I just mentioned the green ammonia, the gray ammonia. So like I mentioned, the gray ammonia is produced from natural gas, and according to the report from the International Energy Agency and the International Panel for Climate Change, this gray ammonia, that means per ton of gray ammonia will emit nearly 2 ton of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. But comparing with the gray ammonia, the green ammonia is much more eco-friendly because it is produced by combining the nitrogen and the green hydrogen. And we can see that the promotion for the gray ammonia will reduce the India's dependence on gas-based inputs, which are crucial for the gray ammonia production. And it is another step towards the sustainable development. And talking about the strategic importance of green ammonia for India. So first I mentioned that the primary purpose of ammonia is fertilizer industry. So it is used in the fertilizer industry for the production of urea, which is very important for the agriculture production. And the promotion for the green ammonia will reduce the exposure to global gas volatility, currency risk, and also geopolitical shock. And it also substitutes our import. That means it will reduce the import by 30%. So we can see that currently we have generated a demand for nearly 7,24,000 per year through this auction. So it is around the 30% of India's ammonia import. So we are reducing the dependence of on import. And next is the logistical advantages of the green ammonia. So we can see that most of the fertilizer plants are located near the port. So we can transport them to the ships, and we can transport them from ship to a plant without much challenges. And also it will assist the India's climate commitments like net zero 2070. So we are planning to achieve a carbon neutral economy by 2070. And also it will assist the India's Panchamrit goal. And also, like I mentioned, it will reduce the India's dependence on the fossil fuel dependency. And we can see that these are the major advantages, and these are the major strategic importance of the green ammonia. So now we'll have a prelims practice question. So the question is, with reference to green ammonia in India, consider the following statement. Statement 1, green ammonia is produced using hydrogen derived from electrolysis powered by renewable energy. So simply it is used from, simply it means green ammonia is produced from green hydrogen. Yes. And the statement 2, the site program is implemented by the Ministry of Power. No, it is implemented by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So the statement 2 is incorrect. So the statement 2 is incorrect means option 1 and B. Option A and B can be eliminated. And the statement 3, Solar Energy Corporation of India's green ammonia tender provides fixed price long-term offtake agreements to the fertilizer plants. Yes, we have signed 10-year fixed price agreement with the producers to reduce the risk of the producers, to reduce the concerns of the producers. So the statement 3 is also correct. So the correct answer is option C, 1 and 3 only. Let's check. Yes. With this, we will move to the next article. So coming to the next article, fading tetanus and diphtheria immunity. Experts explain why the TD shot is important. The article is taken from The Hindu. So what is the news? So we know that in 2015, India successfully eliminated the maternal and neonatal tetanus from India. But we can see that the tetanus is a major concern for the adult population in India. Yes, we have taken a vaccine to deal with the tetanus in our childhood, but we can see that the immunity, the strength provided by this vaccine will decline over a period of time. So the TT vaccine, that is a tetanus toxoid vaccine, it will provide immunity up to 10 years. After 10 years, the strength of this vaccine will slowly fade. Eventually, the person's immunity will compromise to tetanus. And there are a lot of misconceptions about the tetanus infection, because we can see that many people are thinking that the tetanus infection will cause only when the wound occurs through the rusty tools like rusty nails and all. But that is not the case. The tetanus infection can cause through any wound. So now what is the initiative brought by the government? The government brought the TD vaccine to deal with both the tetanus and diphtheria. So let us discuss more. So what is tetanus? So it is a bacterial infection caused by the Clostridium tetani, and we can see that this bacteria enters into the human body through wound, and we can see that once it enters into the human body, it will release toxin which causes muscle spasm, and if the condition is left untreated, it can lead to fatality. And so far there is no record to prove the person to person transmission of this infection. And the next is diphtheria. Diphtheria is also a bacterial infection caused by Crinobacterium diphtheria, and we can see that in this case a person to person transmission is possible because it is spread through respiratory droplets. And we can see that once the infection happens, a thick membrane will form across the throat, and eventually the breathing of the person will be very difficult, and it can even cause damage to heart and nerve. And in India, in certain states there are reports related to the outbreak of the diphtheria. So what is the new initiative brought by the government? Before that, we have to see why the immunity fades. So we can see that after, like I mentioned, after 5 to 10 years, the strength provided by the tetanus vaccine will slowly fade, and eventually the person will be vulnerable to the infection. And we many people in India are thinking that the childhood vaccine is enough, but that is not the case. So the tetanus infection in the in the adult population is indicating the weak vaccination culture in India. So yes, we have a strong immunization program, we have a strong immunization system, and the Indian public health system is focusing more on immunization, but the focus is more given to the children. Nothing wrong in that, but we have to focus on the adult population also. So this tetanus infection is addressing a gap in the India's vaccination as well as India's public health system. And talking about the TD vaccine, so we can see that the TD vaccine will provide the full form is tetanus plus reduced dose diphtheria vaccine. So it can replace the old tetanus toxoid vaccine, and this TD vaccine will provide protection against both the tetanus as well as diphtheria. And it is recommended for adolescent population between the age group of 10 and 16, and it is also recommended for pregnant women, and also it is recommended for the rebooster of this TD vaccine is recommended for people, adult population after every 10 years. And we can see that through this, the TD vaccine is a step towards closing the gap in the India's vaccination initiative. And now we have a prelims practice question. The question is, with reference to TD vaccine in India, consider the following statements. Statement 1, the TD vaccine protects against tetanus and diphtheria. Yes. Statement 2, it has replaced the tetanus toxoid vaccine in India's immunization program. And statement 3, a single booster dose provides lifelong immunity. No. After every 10 years, we have to go for the booster dose. So this statement 3 is incorrect. So if statement 3 is incorrect, means we can eliminate the option C and D. And the statement 4, it is recommended for pregnant women under the national immunization schedule. Yes. So all the 3 statements are correct. So the correct answer will be option B. 1, 2 and 4 only. Let's check. Yes. With this, we will move to the next article. So coming to the next article, India is set to launch free nationwide HPV vaccination for adolescent girls. The article is taken from The Hindu. So the nation is going for nationwide vaccination to fight the HPV, that is human papilloma virus. And the vaccine name is Gardasil, and the vaccine is provided through government health facilities, and this vaccination drive is supported by Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance. And what is the objective? The objective is to prevent the cervical cancer before the exposure to HPV virus. That is, we know that the human papilloma virus is the primary reason behind the cervical cancer. So the objective behind this vaccination is preventing the infection of HPV that causes the cervical cancer. So talking about the HPV, human papilloma virus, it's a very common viral infection that primarily spreads through skin to skin contact, and certain types of this human papilloma virus, particularly the type 16 and 18, accounts for nearly 80% of cervical cancer cases in India. And certain other types like the type 6 and 11 causes genital warts. And talking about the program, so we can see that what is the significance of this vaccination drive? Because we can see that if you take the case of India, nearly 80,000 new cases are reported, cervical cancer cases are reported annually. in India, and the cervical cancer causes nearly 42,000 deaths every year in India, and this is the second most common cancer among the Indian women. And we have to understand that all the cervical cancers can be, most of them can be prevented if we identify them on time and if we can provide the treatment. And this vaccination drive is next step towards preventing the cervical cancers caused by the human papillomavirus. And now we have the prelims practice question. The question is, with reference to human papillomavirus vaccination program in India, consider the following statement. The statement one, the program targets adolescent girls aged 14 years. Statement two, the vaccine being used under the program is quadrivalent in nature. Statement three, the HPV vaccination eliminates the need for cervical cancer screening. And statement four, the vaccination is voluntary and needed and provided free of cost through the government facilities. Which of the statements is or are correct? So they are asking for the correct statement. So we can easily eliminate the option C, the statement 3, that is the HPV vaccination eliminates the need for cervical cancer screening. No, even though if you take the HPV vaccine, if you provide the HPV vaccine, still the people has to undergo the screening test after a particular age. So therefore, the statement 3 is incorrect, while statement 1, 2, and 4 are correct. So the correct answer will be option B, 1, 2, and 4. Yes, with this we will move to the next article. So coming to the next article, an Israel visit, its strategic, economic, regional impact. The article is taken from The Hindu. So on this February 25th and 26th, Mr. Modi will be visiting the nation of Israel in West Asia, and this is the second visit of Prime Minister Modi since 2017. And in 2017, Mr. Modi became the first Indian Prime Minister to visit the nation of Israel. And this is a standalone visit of Mr. Modi to Israel, and that is reflecting the dehyphenation in the India's foreign framework. So what is meant by dehyphenation? Dehyphenation refers to the relation or management of relation between two countries which are not in a good term. So the best examples are the US North Korea relation, Israel Palestine relation, and also the India Pakistan relation. But how can we say that the Israel India relation is not good, is not in good terms? We do not have an open issue with the Israel, but the India Israel relation always determined by the factor of Palestine. But now India is engaging with the Israel independent of the Palestine tract. And the visit of Mr. Modi to West Asia is very important in the present context, because we can see that the West Asia is going through severe political crisis since October 2023, starting with the Israel-Palestine issue. And we can see that in between we signed a ceasefire, but the ceasefire is not that much strong. And even after ceasefire in October 2025, Israeli forces carried out attacks in various parts of West Bank and Gaza. And we can see that in the recent days, the US-Iran tie is also getting very bad. We can see an increasing presence of US military forces near the Persian Gulf, and this is raising concerns associated with regional polarization and also concerns about the energy and maritime routes in this region. Therefore, to secure our interest in West Asia, the visit of Prime Minister Modi to Israel is very important at the present time. And now we will discuss the areas of cooperation, different areas of cooperation between India and Israel. We will start with the defense and security area. So we can see that according to the report from the Stockholm Institute of Peace Research, between 2020 and 24, India accounts for nearly 34% of Israel's arms export. Maybe we can say that India is the largest consumer of Israel's defense equipment. And in the recent time, there is a shift in the India-Israel defense ties, because we can see that historically, the Israel will be the producer and India will be the buyer. But now both countries are cooperating to develop new models of defense equipments. Some of the examples are cooperation in the field of UAVs, radars, missile systems, and surveillance platforms. And we can see that this Barak 8 medium-range surface air missile was jointly developed by the Defense Research and Development Organization and the Israeli aerospace industries. And in 2022, both countries signed a vision of defense cooperation, and in 2025, they signed an agreement on advanced system and a joint production. So we can see a shift from India is no longer just a buyer, but also a partner in Israel's defense production. And the emerging focus. So And at present, both countries are focusing on anti-drone system such as the Iron Beam, which is a laser air defense system developed by Israel, and also they are focusing in the defense architecture, air and missile defense architecture. And talking about the economic and technological partnership, so first we'll start with the trade value. The bilateral trade value between India and Israel is standing at nearly $3.7 billion in the financial year 2024-25, and the major areas of cooperation are diamonds, chemicals, petroleum products, and now it is expanding into semiconductors and electronic equipments. And talking about the institutional development, in 2025, both countries signed a bilateral investment agreement, and in 2025 they signed terms of reference, for free trade negotiations, free trade agreement negotiations, and Israel may sign in the near future, and within another 1 or 2 years, Israel may sign a free trade agreement with India. And India proposed nearly 45 centers of excellence, and Israel accepted nearly 35 centers of excellence, Israeli centers of excellence in India, focusing on high density horticulture and also drip irrigation. And the next is Marshall Partnership. Marshall is an institution of Israel working under the Ministry of their Foreign Affairs. It is an institution working under the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and this Marshall, they undertook many projects, irrigation-related projects in the states of Haryana and Rajasthan. And now both countries are focusing on artificial intelligence and deep technology, and also they are focusing on developing an innovation ecosystem, particularly in the deep tech and artificial intelligence in both Israel as well as in India. And the next is connectivity. The most important area for India is the India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor, which will be connecting India with the Europe via West Asia. And this initiative was announced in the G20 summit of 2023. And we can see that it will provide an alternative trading route to Europe, and it will reduce the reliance on Suez Canal. We know what happened a few years back. The Suez Canal was blocked, and we know what happened to the world for the next 9 to 10 hours. So to address such vulnerabilities of the supply chain, this India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor will be an alternative. And we can see that it will be connecting India with UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Israel, and from there we can enter into Europe. So what is the significance? Like I mentioned, it will counter the supply chain vulnerabilities. It will compete indirectly with the China's Belt and Road Initiative, and it will enhance India's maritime and continental connectivity. And but the major challenge to the infrastructure is the ongoing tension in the West Asia. West Asia is always sensitive, politically sensitive. So that is the major challenge for India. And talking about the opportunity, so we can see that both countries can focus on advanced defense and technological development, and we can expand the free trade agreement with the Israel, and Israel may sign their agreement and their free trade agreement with India in another 1 to 2 years. We can be optimistic. And the next is operationalization of India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor. So these are the major opportunities for us, in West Asia through Israel. But at the same time, the challenges are there. Regional escalation. For example, the Iran-Israel conflict, Iran-Israel, this Jordan conflict. At the same time, the Iran-US conflict. So the West Asia is always politically sensitive. That is a major issue in the West Asia. And also the energy price volatility. So once this geopolitical shock happens, definitely it will reflect in the price. And also domestic political sensitivities in West Asia. So within West Asia, within a country, there are problems. For example, the Hezbollah-Israel conflict. Like that, within a small region, the West Asia has its own political challenges. And perception risk in Arab world. So Arab world can experience polarization because of the alliance and all. So such issues are there. And at the same time, we cannot predict what type of alliance will be forming in West Asia in a particular context. We have witnessed the Iran-Iraq war. At the same time, when Israel came into the context, all these countries joined to fight against Israel. So we cannot predict what will be the alliance or what will be the nature of alliance or who are going to be in the alliance, in the West Asia in different contexts. And a broader implication, we can see that the visit reflects, the present visit of Mr. Modi reflects a matured India-Israel strategic partnership, because always it was determined by the Palestine, right? But now we are making an independent, contact with the Israel, and it reflects India's ability to balance Israel and Arab states simultaneously, because we are planning to expand our relation with the UAE, but at the same time we are planning to handle Israel. So that is showing our ability, our maturity to deal with the two worlds in West Asia. And the next is evolution from transactional ties to structural partnership. Yes, within a small area of cooperation, we can see a major shift. The best example is the defense. So historically, we were buyers, right? The Israel and such countries will be producing, the products we will buy. But now we are focusing on joint development. So we are not just buyers or we are not just sellers. We are partners in different areas of cooperation. And now we have a mains practice question. The question is, India's engagement with Israel reflects both the strategic convergence and calibrated regional balance. Examine the context of Examine in the context of West Asia's evolving geopolitical landscape. So it's a 15 marks question and you have to write around 250 words. Write the answer, post it in the comment section. We will review and we will reply for your answer. Now it's time to move to the prelims focus for the day. So coming to the prelims focus, the first topic is New Delhi Declaration on AI Impact. So we know that this year India became the first country from the global south to host the AI Impact Summit, and the AI Impact Summit was concluded in the national capital with the adoption of New Delhi Declaration on AI Impact, and the declaration was endorsed by nearly 91 countries and international organizations. And the principle of this declaration is Sarvajana Hitya and Sarvajan Saukya, which means welfare for all and happiness for all. And through this principle, India is highlighting the importance of sharing, the benefits of artificial intelligence equally across humanity. And it also emphasizes on strengthening international cooperation and multi-stakeholder engagement for the development of AI. And it also emphasizes on respecting the national sovereignty of the country. And also it raises the importance of advancing AI through accessible and trustworthy frameworks. And talking about the seven chakras or seven pillars of the New Delhi Declaration, so we can see that this seven pillars is currently forming the foundation of global AI cooperation. So the seven pillars are democratization of AI resource, economic growth and social good, secured and trustworthy AI, AI for science, access for social empowerment, human capital development, development of resilient, efficient and innovation AI system. So these are the seven pillars that currently frames the foundation for the New Delhi Declaration that regulates the global AI cooperation. And the third topic is Rajaji Utsav. So it is observed annually on 23rd Feb, and it is hosted by the Rashtrapati Bhavan to highlight the importance, to highlight the contributions of Rajagopalachari to the nation. And this initiative is a part of, it is aligning with the principles of Panch Pran Pledge of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So one of the goals of the Panch Pran Pledge is removing the colonial mindset from India. And as a part of this, the PM announced that the statue of the British architect Edwin Lutyens in Rashtrapati Bhavan will be replaced by the statue of Sri Rajagopalachari. And now we will look into the prelims practice question. The question is, with reference to Rajaji Utsav, recently seen in the news, consider the following statements. Statement 1, it is observed annually on 23rd Feb at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Yes. And statement 2, it seeks to honor the contributions of Sri Rajagopalachari and the symbolically move away from colonial legacy. Yes. And statement 3, it is primarily associated with commemorating India's Independence Day celebrations. No. So the statement 3 is incorrect. So the correct answer is option A, 1 and 2 only. Let's check. Yes. So with this, we are coming to the end for today's prelims focus. With this, we are coming to the conclusion for today's current affair analysis. If you like the video, hit the like button, give your feedbacks as comments, and share this content with your friends. And before leaving this channel, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell icon to receive on-time updates from the Academy. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for listening to me. Have a nice day.